It's a hot dog day in August. It's about 92 degrees out here, and what's saving me is this breeze because it's cooling me down. The body is very challenged by heat. The heat is a stressor when you exercise, just like when you run up a hill or when you try to run faster or bike harder or lift a heavier weight. Because what happens is you start to generate a lot of internal heat. At 92 degrees, my body's starting to get stressed. I'm sweating. The reason I'm sweating is that your body has a very sophisticated heat mechanism to keep us in thermal equilibrium. And the reason it does is most mammals, and humans are right at the top of the chain, can only live in a very narrow band of internal body temperatures. And our natural temperature is 98.6 degrees. And it doesn't take a whole lot of working out to start moving that up. And we can't stand another maybe 4 or 5 degrees and we start to get in big trouble. And of course you elevate it, say 10, you're in core temperature, you're probably going to be dead at that point. It's when your core temperature starts going up that you start to experience heat exhaustion and then heat stroke. The body is rigged to take care of us because we have nerves all over our body called thermoreceptors that are looking for temperature change, and that's what starts this sweating process. You know, your capillaries, you have a lot of them in your face, you have a lot of them in your head, you have a lot of them in your chest. The places you sweat or where your sweat glands are located, and your body naturally starts opening those capillaries up, and that's one of the reasons you get all flushed, and it's just trying to get as much blood to the surface to cool as you can. Well, obviously things seem to work pretty well as long as the outside temperature, which it is today, it's below 98.6. Once it starts nosing up higher than that, that's where the problems really start. And water plays a key role in it, though not the one sometimes we think it does. For about every hour that you're out where it's really hot, you're exercising, depending on how adapted you are to heat. And some of us handle heat better than others. Bigger people are going to sweat more than smaller people. But on average, you're going to lose a quart and a half an hour of exercise. And what's ironic is that you're going to get thirsty. Now, you generally don't feel thirst until you've already lost about 2% of your body weight. And what triggers your thirst is actually, not only is your brain watching out for the heat on the surface of your body, it's watching the sodium content in your blood. And when your blood starts getting real salty, then it starts kicking into another gear, because what's really tricky about having enough water, which then becomes blood, which, you know, is what is circulating through your body and is taking nutrients to your muscles and is also taking the heat to the surface of the body. You've just put a double stressor on there, because now you're trying to deliver nutrients to muscles that are working hard. At the same time, you're trying to open up all the capillaries and get as much heat out of your body as possible. So what then happens is your pulse starts to elevate. And one of the reasons it's elevating is that as you lose moisture from your body, your blood thickens and your heart has got to push harder to get that blood through your body to where it needs to go, whether it's down into the cells or if it's on the surface of your skin, so that you can get that evaporation. Your body pretty much knows how much water it wants. And you know, today I've been out here about an hour and a half now. And I've drunk most of this, not all of it. Truth is, I could probably come out and do an hour and a half, and most people could. If you don't have some physical illness, you can get out on a pretty hot day and you can go hard and you never have to take water. But it's a smart idea to have it with you, even if you don't need to take it or feel you need to take it. And it's also a smart idea, really, if it's really a hot day, and this is borderline, you know, if it's close to 100, I'd definitely be drinking. About every 15 minutes, 5 or 6 swigs. You can't drink water as fast as you need to because you can't evacuate it from your small intestine anyway. So you need to take this gradual drip IV approach. Glugging the water down is going to make you sick to your stomach. If you're really thirsty, you got to live with it. It's not a big deal. It won't kill you. But you just want to keep drinking a little bit. You know, you read a lot anymore about the concern about your electrolytes. When we sweat hard, we're not just losing sodium, we're losing other critical nutrients as well, like calcium. These minerals that come pouring out of our body and crust up on our skin are pretty important, because they're actually what we are. Human beings are 70% water and a few minerals. A lot of it's calcium in your bone, but that's all we are. So the water issue in your body is critically important, because we're also not just chemical, we're electrochemical. And the electrolytes, when you hear that word electrolytes, those minerals are necessary to fire your nerves, they're necessary to twitch your muscles, they're necessary to beat your heart. So getting the water in is really important. If you're out here for an hour and a half, you'll be fine with water. If you're going to be out for 2-3 hours and beyond, that's when the time you need to start thinking about having sports drinks, or have water that's got a little sodium in it, water that has some lime, just some carb in it, so you can keep these things moving through your system so you stay replenished and ready to go. You're never going to feel great, because the heat's going to beat you. If you stay out in the heat, inevitably you lose the battle. That's why you can't do it forever, because you never replenish the water as fast as you lose it. But it's really important, if you're going to go out and it's going to be hot, to take the water along with you. And it feels good to splash on your face, even though it's not doing you a whole lot of good. One thing you should understand, drinking water is not going to lower your core body temperature necessarily. If you start overheating, the only way you're going to know that is the only way you're going to turn that situation around or stabilize it is to stop exercising. You're either going to slow down or you're going to stop. Water itself is not going to do it. And you know, it's fun to get out here when it's hot, see what it feels like. It's just like going on hills, and it's another stressor, another thing in a season that you can find out about, which is exciting to me, to see sort of what our range is that we can deal with. And it's a good thing to get out and do this and kind of experiment with yourself to see what it feels like, see what it takes to get your pulse up, and be able to start to discern some of those symptoms that could be problematic, like cramping in places where you shouldn't have them, like in your belly instead of your legs because you're starting to get tired, or if you start to get dizzy. Telltale signs that you're overdoing it. But, you know, your body will give you signals. You can always trust it. You just know what to be watching for. And you always want to take along a little bit of water on a hot day. I hope to see you out here.